whether full-time, part-time, fractional, blah, 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 blah. And I wrote, first things first, the COO of your law firm must understand the strategic goals and be familiar with the business plan of your law firm.
Yes.
Second, the COO of your law firm has to understand why the goals matter to the owner. The whole story about how, because you need to make sure that the goals matter, otherwise the owner's going to, run away the minute things get tough. 3, the COO of a law firm has to understand the culture, values, and are there any sacred cows that they need to be aware of in the law firm?
I just used that term today.
4, the COO, the Chief Operating Officer, should inventory all of the deliverables that the law firm is responsible for to A, internal clients, B, external clients, and C, VIP clients.
Good. Yes. Yes. Good addition.
Okay. 5, the Chief Operating Officer should begin by taking inventory of all assets.
Yes.
Hang on a second. I gotta shut off a whole bunch of stuff on my screen, on my computer. I always forget to do this, and then my computer is slow on these things. Close.
And is that?
Quit. Hang on, I'll get back to the outline in a second, but if I don't do this now, I'll forget. Zoom. If you still have your Zoom on, quit Zoom. Don't just shut the screen. You gotta shut everything. All right. So the Chief Operating Officer of your law firm. So you should expect the Chief Operating Officer of your law firm to 5 is inventory all assets, human asset, human capital, intellectual property, etc., and basically do a SWOT analysis. 5.5, you should expect the Chief Operating Officer of your law firm to conduct and keep current a risk analysis, risk assessment.
Yes.
And I'm thinking about DeCarlo's 28-item risk assessment that he did when he first came into How to Manage. 6 is you should expect the Chief Operating Officer of your law firm to be familiar with the budget that they have, the overall firm budget, and specifically the budget they have to work with, including historical spend. 7, you should expect the Chief Operating Officer of your law firm to audit all SKUs. 8, audit all policies. 9, audit all procedures. For some reason, I forgot to write 10, so I just jumped to 11. Grade, rank, and prioritize the policies, the systems of the firm, where +1 is good, 0 is good enough for now, -1 is not good enough, needs attention, and -2 is non-existent, or they're actually doing damage to the business. 12 is schedule maintenance to improve. 13 is forecasting future needs, ongoing stuff, of outgrowing stuff.
Yes.
14 is laying out the cadence that they should follow to do the job of a Chief Operating Officer for a law firm, whether they're full-time, part-time, or, as in the case of How to Manage a Small Law Firm, fractional.
Yes.
That's what I took away from your notes.
Okay.
It was very helpful. Thank you.
You're very welcome. And then
welcome to 12 Days of Law Firm Growth, the show for law firm owners who are serious about growing their business, maximizing profits, and reaching their true potential. And now, let's get started.
Hey, Nicole. Oh, look, my chair's
Hey.
higher than this. Oh, there we go. Now we're the same height. Yeah. Anyone who knows
Yeah,
knows
in
that's
real
not
life
true.
too. In real life
Huh?
too. That's
Yeah. Everyone who knows that's not true. You're taller than
yeah.
me. Everyone's taller than me. Ty is not taller than me. He is 8 years old. So first off, thanks to everyone for tuning in, and thanks to everyone for sharing this series with your colleagues, your spouses, your friends. Lawyer discussion groups all over the internet seem to be blowing up with comments about the show. Some people love it, some people hate it. People are talking about it, and we appreciate that. We've been getting a lot of audience interaction with people who aren't able to be here live, and they're watching recorded versions of it, which is great. Even if you're watching this recorded and you have a question you'd like us to answer, you can write in, and someone will put something or tell us how you can write in, and we will answer your question. If you tell us that we have permission to use your name or identify you in the question, we will. If you don't, we won't. The bias will be in favor. We won't assume that you give us permission. So I have here, Christy, you paying attention? Oh, Christy can't hear me. She's like, what the fuck's about to happen?
What's
I have my show notes. So I'm just going to read the notes, and we're going to go through Christy's notes. This is how she wants me to start the show. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Arjon Robbins, founder of How to Manage a Small Law Firm and author of Profit First for Lawyers. And this is the 12 Days of Law Firm Growth. The show is designed to help law firm owners grow your law firm. How? Well, in every episode, my co-host, who is one of my employees, in the interest of full disclosure, I have 150 full-time employees, and I grab them and I say, go pick something from the vault and bring it onto the show and tell us why you think it's great for lawyers to listen to and how it's going to help them improve their business, improve their life next year. Well, in every episode, my co-host brings a clip from the vault, which is what I call our extensive video library from How to Manage a Small Law Firm. I'm talking about almost 20 years of content, and together we watch the clip and discuss, and then we answer your questions. Suggested order of talking points. First, why are we showing clips on the show? These clips are common problems that law firm owners have when they try to run the business of a law firm. That is true. 2, why aren't we trying to sell you a how to manage a small law firm membership? We're not trying to sell you anything because we have a waiting list. We've had a waiting list for 2 fucking years. It's driving me insane. We have a waiting list. So we're not trying to sell you anything. We're just trying to give value. And the idea is we give you value. We help you solve problems. We help you get results. We help you improve the business of your law firm. And when we have an opening come up in the waiting list, you say, hey, I'd love to be on that line. And when an opening comes up, let me know. And we just develop that relationship. We build the relationship. And then when an opening comes up, it becomes a much more natural way to do business together. Christy, you didn't put this on here. Why do you have a waiting list? We have a waiting list because we're fucking awesome and we get amazing results. In fact, if we actually told you about the actual results we actually get, that is the hardest part, because when we actually tell people about what we actually do and the results we actually get with over 600 of the fastest growing, most profitable law firms you could ever imagine, the vast majority of lawyers can't even believe that what we do is even possible. And then you walk into a room with like 600 of our members and their spouses and their significant others and their children, and everyone's like, my life is so much better. And you're like, oh my God, how is this possible? Oh, they must all be actors. It must be a big ploy to trick me. All right. We went out and hired 700 actors to get you to sign a contract that comes with a money back guarantee. Yeah, that's a good strategy. All right. This is the kind of stupid shit that help rejecting complainers actually dream up and say out there. All right. What is the goal of the show? Especially if it is not to push our HTM membership. I think I already covered that. mention free resources. We've got a ton of free resources. Depending on the questions that you ask, we will share more and more and more free resources. We will give you more for free than most people will charge you tens of thousands of dollars for. We'll just give it to you for free. We got tons and tons and tons of free stuff. We're happy to share. The one thing that we thought of when we decided to do the show is a free resource that you can find at here it is. How to manage a small law firm.com/12 days. And there you can get our business plan workbook, which if you're running a law firm, spoiler alert, you're running a business. If you're running a law firm, you're running a business. If you're a lawyer, you're a lawyer. If you own a law firm, it's a business. If you're running a law firm, you're running a business. If you're running a law firm and you don't have a written business plan, well, then you're just like every other business owner who's running a business without a written business plan, and you're probably experiencing the ill effects, the predictable but unhappy effects of running a business without a business plan. And we can help you fix that for free. And still they don't do it. All right. I'd rather just complain. Then ask for questions. Live, put it in chat. Watching later, not live. Email questions to Team Arjon, TEAM Arjon, that's me, RJON, at howtomanage.com, Team Arjon at howtomanage.com, and we will answer your question on one of the last shows we're going to be doing on these shows. And if we get too many questions, we can't get to all the questions, we'll do a bonus show where we'll just answer questions. Arjon, to introduce the co-host. Co-host, your name is Nicole.
Hi, I'm Nicole. I'm Nicole Hanscom.
Nicole, I'm gonna hold off on introducing you because no one cares who I am and no one cares who you are. They are all here because they want to get ways to make their law firm more profitable, more financially profitable, more personally profitable, more professionally profitable. They want the law firm to work for them. They want to work fewer hours. They want to take home more money. They want the money they take home to come in more predictably. They want to be able to say fuck off to F clients with confidence that their marketing machine is bringing in new clients. They want to be able to hire superstar casts. They want to be able to say fuck off to F employees. They want to know how to recognize the difference between an A employee, a B employee, a C employee, a D employee, and an F employee. And they want to be able to get rid of all the F employees before those F employees ruin their lives. We could say a few things about that today, couldn't we, Nicole?
We could, couldn't we?
We have some recent information about that.
We have late-breaking development.
It didn't take long for Glassdoor to reflect what just happened. Let me just tell you that.
Oh, that's it. Oh.
What, does that surprise you? Does it surprise you?
It doesn't surprise me. With the speed with which it happened.
I'm going to have a total meltdown, quit for good reason. What else am I going to do? What else am I going to do? Look in the mirror and take personal responsibility for anything? No, of course not. Why would an F employee do that? You're not going to do that.
Why start now?
Define how to manage. What is how to manage a small law firm? How to manage a small law firm is the largest. We are the fastest growing. We are by far the best. No one can even pretend to be as good as we are. No one even tries. They try to distinguish themselves and they try to talk shit about us personally, but they can't hold a candle to our results. We have more than 600 of some of the fastest growing, most profitable, most fun to run law firms. We manage them. We function as their CEO. We function as their COO. We function as their CFO. We function as their CMO. We help them take the reins and drive their business to success. We got law firms that are $30 million. We got law firms that are $10 million. Lots and lots and lots and lots of $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, $4 million, $5 million law firms, and hundreds of firms that are earlier in the process, even firms that are just getting started. That's how to manage a small law firm. That's what we do. Remind everyone that we aren't selling an HTM membership. I already said that. We have a waiting list. We're not trying to sell an HTM membership. Recap the clip importance from what the co-host mentioned. Roll the clip. Clip plays. Discussion with the co-host ensues. All right. So, Nicole, this is where you introduce yourself so that people first tell them why they should care about this clip. Why is watching this clip going to make their life better? By the way, everyone, I don't know what the clip is. They picked the clip. They surprised me with the clip. We watched it together. I mean, I've seen it before, obviously, but I don't know which clip it is. I got 20 years worth of clip of content. I don't know what they're grabbing. So what's in it for them to watch tonight's clip?
So I thought, first of all, near and dear to my heart, this topic. And so, of course, I picked it because I think law firm owners are going to find this very impactful. I did, because of the idea that it's their life and their priorities, and that the law firm exists to fulfill that for them and not the other way around. And I think this is that reminder.
Say that again.
I think this is that perfect
reminder. That did not give me any clue as to what clip you picked. So say it again. Give me more clue. Give me more hint.
Okay. When we talk about dropping in the boulders.
No, just okay. Now I have a guess, but tell them the benefits. Like, what is the benefit? If you could wave a magic wand, tap them on the head with the magic wand, what would this clip do for them?
If you take it to heart, when you take it to heart, it helps you build a business.
If they take it for heart, if they take it to heart, look, our members are fucking rock stars. Let's be honest. Our members are extraordinary fucking rock stars. They demonstrate courage every day that the vast majority of struggling, help rejecting, excuse making, full of fucking shit, struggling law firm owners can't even hold a candle to the kind of courage our members show every day to face and embrace truth, to face and embrace reality, to admit that they don't know everything, to ask questions that they don't know the answer to about their business so they can learn and so they can grow, to do things that are unique and different than almost everyone else in the legal industry is doing. Because if you want to get the same results as everyone else, go ahead and do what everyone else is doing. If you want to get unusual, extraordinary results, you better do something different. And our members demonstrate the courage to do that every single day. So no, I'm not going to give thousands and thousands of law firm owners the same benefit of the doubt or credit as our members have earned with me. Our members have earned my respect. Thousands of random struggling law firm owners have not yet earned my respect. I'm sorry to say that.
So this is the F. If you see it, if you let it click, if you let it resonate, if you take it to heart, a law firm owner is going to realize that it's their life and it's their priorities that the law firm can exist to fulfill, as opposed to what ends up happening and what certainly happened to me when I owned my own law firm and when I owned my own business before I saw this clip and before I watched this, which was I felt like I existed to serve my business as opposed to my business's calendar could hold because my life and my priorities is what was going to dictate how I was spending my time.
And okay, now let's introduce you. You are a licensed attorney.
I am a licensed attorney. I also a recovering attorney.
You had a law firm. You actually met me because your law firm. You were member. You were.
Yes.
We were the CEO of your law firm.
Yes, that's how I met you. That's how I came to How to Manage, and then after that, How to Manage, talking about your law firm existing to help you, helped me realize that I wanted to help other lawyers more than I wanted to be another lawyer. And so that's how I came here. That's how I know you. That's why I'm working for How to Manage today.
And you've been with us since what year?
I have been an advisor since 2017.
So 2017, you've been
Mhm.
working in various capacities with how to manage
Yes.
a small law firm. And I'll just say, when you hear Nicole's history, you'll understand that she was in the business of helping lawyers first. Then she went to law school. Now she's back to her roots.
That's right.
All right.
And so for my first job, and really I grew up in the legal field. I grew up around lawyers, and I grew up helping lawyers. It was my first job. Even before I went to college, I worked at the public defender's office, and my job was closing cases and doing data entry. I went to college. I came back. I'm not going to tell you how old I was, but I am going to tell you that it was long enough ago that I was the only person in the firm who knew how to use a mouse. And so I got a job. So I got promoted, thank you to my outstanding technology skills, and became a trainer for the whole office. And I got some background. I spent about 5 years building and running a training department.
Let me stop for a second.
Mhm.
You've been a legal secretary.
I've been a legal secretary.
You've been a paralegal.
I have been a paralegal.
You've
I have been a social services in-house jail drug treatment interviewer and coordinator. I've been a criminal defense investigator. I have been a trainer, a training director,
You've been a practicing lawyer.
the supervisor of the intake department, the director of operations, a practicing lawyer, a general counsel.
And at the peak, you managed a firm with how many lawyers?
At its peak, it was 200.
200
lawyers.
And you were the primary top
operations person.
Sorry?
I was the primary top operations person who sort of held hands with the primary top supervisor of attorneys.
Right. So you really know what you're talking about when it comes to law firm operations.
That's
I think
the
do. Point we want to make.
I am conversant. Yes.
Yes.
I know what I'm talking about.
Yes. All right. So let's see the clip. Okay. California. 2015. No?
Mm-mm.
No?
Warm.
Was it California?
Yes. I don't remember the city.
Maybe 2016?
Getting colder. Earlier.
2014.
Mm-hmm.
But it was California.
I think it was, Arjun. I remember the titles. I don't remember the states.
The reason I think California is because I remember I had a beard. And I didn't plan to have a beard.
This is the only time I've seen you with a beard.
I'm sorry?
This is the only time I've seen you with a beard.
That's because by the time it starts getting beard-ish, it starts itching so bad. And I know I put a bunch of our members who are like really into beards. They give me all this beard advice. But then the other thing that drives me insane is on the pillow, I hear it crunching.
Oh, that would be uncomfortable.
It drives me crazy.
Thank God. Thank goodness I don't know what that's like.
So I can only let my beard grow out for like maybe 10 or 12 days before it's just like I can't stand it.
You can hear your beard.
I can literally hear my beard. My beard literally wakes me up.
I hear my
every
beard.
time I shave, Ty complains because he likes it.
Oh, well. He doesn't have to sleep through the beard noise.
No, he does not.
He doesn't.
All right. So let's play the clip.
I think California.
We also decided in November that we're going to go to South by Southwest this year in Austin. It's a really cool conference, festival thing that Allie wants to go to. So we decided we're going there. We put it in the calendar. It's done. It's happening. Everything else now has to shift because that is happening. You follow? It's like putting a boulder in the path of a river. The river has to go around the boulder. But if you don't put the boulder in the middle of the river is just going to do whatever the river wants to do. The things you want to do with your life are those boulders. You've got to put them in the river. You've got to put them in your calendar, and then that forces you to make the rest of your life comply so you can live the way you want to live. There's no judge who wouldn't accommodate you if you were in the hospital, right? You would find a way to make it happen if it was your kid in the hospital, that you wouldn't have to go to court, right? Treat yourself with that respect, and you'll find other people will treat you with the same respect. Better yet, don't wait for it to be an emergency to find out that everyone will accommodate you. Put in the calendar, drop the boulder in the river, and make it happen. You follow? Okay, so let's do it. So the first thing you want to do is you want to layer in your birthdays, your anniversaries, any weddings you have to go to. Put things in that calendar that you absolutely already know are predictable, that are coming up.
I was trying to find a picture while we were watching that. I was trying to find a picture of, I've done that same, that was in a workshop. That was in a small workshop. But we've actually done 2 or possibly 3 entire live quarterly meetings on this topic. The last live quarterly meeting that we did was our 50th anniversary live quarterly meeting. And I'm just sharing this with the audience. I know you know this, Nicole. I was trying to find a picture of it. We literally covered an entire wall, 20 feet across and like 8 or 10 feet high, with all of the paper calendars that I've used to build this business, that I've kept. I keep them from like 20. I think I found calendars going back to like 2008 or 2010 or 2012 or something like that. And you can literally see exactly how I strategically grew this business from me and Allie being completely and totally flat broke. And if there's anyone in the audience who is broke, sincerely, we were broke. I know what that feels like. I know how demoralizing that is. I know how scary that is. I know how humiliating that can be, particularly in society where we are today, where everyone pretends like they're perfect and never made a mistake. And you're like that one loser who goes broke. No, there's tons of us who have gone broke. Anyway, so I used my calendar as the strategic planning tool that it was originally created to be. Calendars were invented to be strategic planning tools. And I built the business. We grew it by over 10,000% in the last 12 years. 10,000%. That's a lot. All driven by the calendar. The calendar literally drove the growth. Most lawyers, unfortunately, confuse a calendar with a docket. And Nicole, interesting you picked that clip because you run the strategic planning and calendaring workshop.
I told you it was near and dear to my heart.
Yeah, now I get it.
Yeah. And it's one of the first LQMs that I ever went back when I became a member, and we have access to the library. It's one of the first ones that I ever went back and watched because it occurred before I became a member. And it was like, oh my gosh, the epiphanies that I had when I was learning that. And now to get to carry it full circle and teach the workshop 4 times a year, and help other people have that epiphany is pretty
so let's
amazing.
do this. For everyone who is watching this, most of them probably will never get to do business with us directly. Let's give them like a quick crash course summary of what they can do with their calendar. It's still, we still have 2 weeks left in the year. There's still plenty of time to develop your strategic calendar for next year, it will change the rest of your whole life. If you'll just invest one day, invest one day with your calendar, it can literally change the rest of your life. And I'm not exaggerating, not even a little bit of an exaggeration. If anything, I'm underselling it. If you will invest one day with your calendar, I guarantee you, I promise you that if you will invest one day with your calendar, the way we ask you to invest one day with your calendar, your income will definitely go up at least 10%. At least 10%. Wouldn't surprise me at all if it doubles. You will get to take at least 20% more time off in the next 12 months. Guarantee it. Guarantee your income will go up by at least 10%. Wouldn't surprise me at all. You wouldn't be the first for your income to double in the 12 months following doing your strategic calendar the way we prescribe to do it. Guarantee you'll definitely have at least 20% more free time off. And I was going to say also, Nicole, that I would promise that they'll have less stress. Let's say you'll have better stress.
Better stress.
You'll have better stress. Because what's going to happen is it will make you wise to a lot of fucked up shit that's probably going on in your business beneath the surface that you don't see it. So in some regards, it will increase your stress because all of a sudden you'll see all this stuff that's happening. But on the other hand, if you have any self-respect at all, you'll do something about it, and that will make things better, and then your stress will come down. So it's kind of like your stress will go up, and then it'll come down. Am I overpromising?
No, I don't think you're overpromising, and no, I don't think you're overpromising. And I also think that the stress that they're going to go through is the weight of freedom to make decisions on their own of what they want to do.
Oh yeah. Oh man, we should do a whole show just on that.
Yeah, because, I mean, that if you've never done it, it's mind-boggling and sort of stressful when you sit down to do it.
Yeah, it's very, very stressful for people the first time they wake up and realize I don't have to do anything. I get to do anything. I don't have to. I get to do everything. I don't have to do anything. And people literally lose their shit.
Yeah, as an entrepreneur, because I mean, I ran ops departments, and we had this joke that ops always stood for other people's shit, right? And like that's what I existed to do. It was other people's deadlines, it was other people's priorities. And when I became a business owner on my own, realizing that it wasn't I could continue to choose to fill up my day with other people's shit and then never have a life, or I could choose to fill up my weeks and my months with mine and the stuff that I wanted to do and I could accomplish. I took a real deep breath and before I made that step.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people like to be told what to do, and they don't like to have a lot of options because options require personal responsibility.
That's right.
To make choices. And yeah. So
brain dump.
I'm trying to figure out, I wasn't expecting this clip, so it's not like I had a presentation ready. So I'm just trying to think, how do I summarize this whole lesson in 10 or 15 minutes? And oh, by the way, if you have questions, please write in with your questions, post them. If you have any questions about this, happy to answer, or anything else too, for that matter. All right. So first off, keep us side by side because I want to see Nicole's reaction because I'm going to see if I'm going the right direction or not. Thank you. All right. So first off, calendar. Calendar is a strategic planning tool. It's a forward-looking strategic planning tool. A log of everything that has happened in the past is not a calendar. That's just a log of everything that's happened in the past. That's a record. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Diary. Mm-hmm.
A diary. A docket is a schedule of your appointments for the coming days, weeks, and if you really have your shit together, month or two. A docket is a calendar. A docket is a calendar. No, a docket. This is what happens. I didn't know we were going to talk about this. A docket is a schedule of appointments.
Yes.
It is not a strategic planning tool. A calendar is a high-level strategic planning tool. The only thing that goes on your strategic calendar are outcomes. Outcomes and major causes.
Mm-hmm.
These are the outcomes. We put the outcomes on the calendar. This outcome will happen here. This outcome will happen here. This outcome will happen here. In order for this outcome to happen here, these causes, this is the project plan that has to kick off 90 days sooner. This is where the project plan starts. This is the outcome. These two, beginning and end, go on the strategic calendar. Not every little thing that's got to get done.
That's right.
The beginning and the end go on the strategic calendar. And what goes on the strategic calendar first is when the result will show up. So you make a list of all of the outcomes that you want to achieve. Each of them gets its own tactical plan.
Mm-hmm.
Each strategic outcome is supported by a plan of tactics. That plan of tactics goes on a timeline, and it shows you that it's going to take let's say 90 days, right? So
yes.
This is the middle of December. This is the 12 days of law firm growth during the holiday season. We're in the middle of December. If I have an outcome that I want to have show up at the end of January, and I do my project plan, and it's going to take 90 days to get done. Exactly. What you just did is exactly the point. You're like, wait, that doesn't make any sense. If it's the middle of December right now, and it's going to take 90 days to get done, and I decide I want it to happen by the end of January. See, what most lawyers will do is they will argue and argue and argue, and they'll tell us how important this is and why they're so committed to it and why they're willing to work so hard for it and why it matters so much. And it's like kind of trying to argue with the pint to explain why it should fit a gallon. It's just never going to fit a gallon.
Right.
If your project plan is well thought through and it's a 90-day project, and today's the middle of December, then January, February, March, you better not pick anything before the middle of March, or you're just diluting it. Right? All right. So, but that's not even how you do the first thing with your calendar. The first thing that goes on your strategic calendar, and this is what I was talking to in the video about.
Yes.
So this story is often attributed to Bill Gates. I don't remember who actually did this, but just imagine I have this big pickle jar, right? Imagine there's a giant pickle jar.
Mm-hmm.
And, the way that the story goes is Bill Gates filled the pickle jar with rocks and talking about filling your time. And he said, you see, this is full. And the audience was like, yeah, it's full. And he goes, no, it's not full. And so he took a bunch of pebbles and sprinkled them in and shook them up, and they fit in the cracks and crevices between the rocks. And the audience was like, oh, well, that's why you're Bill Gates and we're not, because you know how to really maximize your time. And he said, still not full. And so then he took a bunch of sand and he poured the sand in and shook it up, and the sand filled in the cracks and the crevices between the pebbles, which filled up the cracks and crevices between the rocks. And everyone said, all right, Bill Gates, we got it. It's full. And he goes, not yet. And then he filled it with water. Filled it with water, right? and not to get too physics nerdy, but there's probably space between the atoms. Anyway, the molecules. Anyway, the point I'm making is, if you fill your life, so think of your life as a river. Your life is a river. And if you fill the river with water and get that water going, that raging river of water, it'll carry anything away that you drop in its path.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The things that are
Mm-hmm.
most important to you in your life, I'm talking like anniversaries, family vacations, birthdays, graduations, weddings, the things that are really important to you in your life that are plannable. Funerals are not plannable, right? Weddings are. If you take, those are boulders. Those are the boulders. Those are like the big things you drop in first. If you drop the boulders into the river first and then set the water flowing,
Right.
the water will go around the boulders. If you get the water going, and drop the boulder in, the boulders will get carried away and you'll never get to have a life. So,
or you'll constantly be explaining to people why you don't have a life and why you're being carried away by, like I said, other people's
I have
shit.
a video that I'm looking for that actually has a video of my calendar, my actual calendar, the last time I built my calendar, that shows, first thing I took my calendar, and the first thing I do is I put in my boulders.
Mm-hmm.
These are the things that are really important to me. These are my life. That goes on my calendar first. Then goes the rocks. The rocks are the things that give my business structure. Quarterly business reviews, monthly financial reviews, weekly scaling up meetings. These are the things that give structure to my business. Then goes the pebbles.
Install your rocks.
Install your rocks.
Install your rocks.
Drop in the boulders, then install your rocks, then drop in your stones.
Yep. Drop your stones.
Drop your stones.
Yep.
And the stones are all of the things that I'm committed to do for other people. Right?
Yep.
And then after sorry?
Yes.
And then after you put that in there, all the things you're committed to do for other people, then I'm looking for this video.
Well, then you can add the water. Only then do you have room in your life to accommodate the water. And what you'll find, and when you think of the water, it's other people's emergencies, other people's shit, other people's last minute things they need, other people's impositions that they want to make on you, because your business has been done. Your life has been got handled first. Your business systems and your repeatable systems got handled second. The other stuff you need to do got handled third. Commitments that you agreed to do for other people got handled fourth. And then when people bring you their stuff, there's no room for it. And so you're not put in the position of getting carried away by their stuff. You're in the position of living yours. Do you find your video?
I did. I'm trying to figure out the best way to show it. Teach something else while I figure this out. Here it is. Christy Hughes, I'm emailing this to you.
Well, and so often that's the hardest thing for people. They're pretty good at their boulders. People are pretty good at sitting down and looking and being like, okay, husband's 50th birthday's coming up, kids' birthday's coming up. It's the next part that they struggle with.
All right. I don't know if you can see this, but here's the video, okay?
Yeah, we can see it.
So you can see the boulders. Boulders are going in first. That's like family vacations.
There's the
Then the
There's
Rock.
the
There's the
Rocks.
truck for the quarterly business reviews.
Just add, and I like that you're showing that it's on the paper calendar and it's not some Outlook thing and it's not
It
some
has to
fancy
be on
computer
paper.
program.
I've been doing this since 2006. I tried all kinds of fancy solutions. I'm telling you, on paper, on your wall. If we were in my office, I'm in my home office right now, but if we were in my work office, the wall in front of me, when I'm sitting at my desk, the wall in front of me that I'm looking at, or the new office that'll be on the wall on the side, I keep that out all year long, and it's always there because it is a strategic plan. It's a strategic planning tool.
Mhm.
The most successful entrepreneurs that I know, and I know people who are billionaires. I'm not saying I made them billionaires, but I know them. I know billionaires. I know people who are worth hundreds of millions of dollars. I know people who've got $100 million law firms, $50 million law firms, lots and lots of 20, 30, and $10 million law firms. It's all driven by our calendars. We all have the same 24 hours a day. We all have the same 7 days a week. We all have the same 168 hours a week. It's what we choose to do with that time.
Mhm.
And if we don't choose what to do with our time, I promise you, your time is being decided upon. What you're going to do with your time is being decided upon by other people.
Yeah.
Which goes back to your point earlier, Nicole, that you said why that was so compelling to you.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I don't see any questions. I'm curious why we don't have any questions. Oh, there. How does this actually work in practice? I'm a solo with just a receptionist. It doesn't seem possible right now to prioritize the things I want to do. Try it.
Try it.
Try it. Listen, you don't need to know how it actually works. Tell you what, whoever wrote that, how does this actually work in practice? I'm also a solo with just a receptionist. It doesn't seem possible, blah, 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 blah. I'm not trying to be dismissive. I'm just saying you don't need to know how it works in order for it to work. You don't have to understand how your body chemistry and metabolism work. If you eat healthy food and exercise, you'll lose weight, you'll get healthy. You don't have to explain the science behind it. If you see, watch this. I don't know how this is going to work, but I'm going to do this. You see this?
Yes.
I am not an electrician. I am not an engineer. I am not a physicist. I can't really explain how the electrons work that cause illumination to occur when I press the button on this little dial, right? But watch what happens when I press the button. Jennifer just like, no, don't do that.
Your video.
You see,
Turn them
I don't
back
know how
on.
it happens, but it happens. I don't know exactly how the plane gets up in the air, but I get on the airplane and I
I trust
travel.
that it does.
I don't know exactly how the chemicals work in the pills that I take and the medicine that I prescribed. I don't say to the doctor, I need to know the chemistry of the medication before I can take the pill to cure my illness. You don't need to know how it works. You just need to do it. And look, it's not going to hurt you, right? I'm not going to ask you to do something that's going to hurt you. But here's what I will tell you. After you do it and after you experience it, then you will understand how it works because you'll have done it. And you'll understand how it works at a level that I couldn't explain if I spent 10 hours trying to explain it. You look like you want to say something.
I do. And just from, I think also practically, and this is something that we learned, if you want to do it now for January, you're probably too late. But if you sit down, and this is why you do it every year in advance and you adjust it every quarter. If you sit down now and you block off the shit you want to do in December of 24 or February of 25, it works. If you sit down now and try and block off January, you're going to struggle. That's why you have
Your
to do it in
river
advance.
is already clogged with shit for the next probably 90 days.
Mhm.
If you decide to sit down and do this exercise, don't even bother planning January, February, March, April, May. Don't even bother. Or June. Just
Go to July.
those are ruined already. If you haven't been doing it already, the next 6 months are ruined. They belong to everyone else. You gave up control of your time and your life to everyone else. Accept it. Just jump ahead to July of next year. Start planning the last 6 months of next year. That is great advice, Nicole. I'm so glad you mentioned that. Because if you've never done this before, or if you haven't done it in a long time, and you start trying to plan January in December, you're going to be very, very demoralized and overwhelmed and confused and think, oh, this is never going to work. No, you just admit that you fucked up the next 6 months of your life. You did.
Yep.
You let everyone else take control of the next 6 months of your life. Jump ahead, leapfrog over that, and take control starting in July.
I'm laughing with a little bit of embarrassment because it's what I realized had happened for me, because it's a practice I got out of, and my husband owns his own business, and it's a practice he got out of, and we sat down to do it in October and realized that had happened to us. And so now how we spend October 24 is up to us. But everything leading up to that, we have a little flexibility, but it's not just we have worked ourselves into a position, and that's where a lot of people are right now. So
should we strategically? Yes. That is one of those rocks that I was talking about. Right? So everything on your calendar is going to conceptually live in one quadrant or the other. It's going to be some kind of activity that is designed or intended or planned or hoped to get you money. Get you money.
Get money.
Keep money. Keep money.
Keep it in the business. So you've got
get
fresh new money, and then not give away the money that you just got.
Keep sanity. And things you want to do. These are the 4 quadrants. Everything is either going to be a get money project, a keep money project, a keep sanity project, or a want to do project. Now, most things you can make a good argument that most things could be a get money project or a keep sanity, or it could be one or the other, or it could be more than one. The point is, it has to live in a quadrant. It doesn't really much matter what quadrant you put it in. Just make sure it goes in a quadrant. On any given day, you could take a particular project like this podcast. Mm-hmm. Is this podcast going to probably get us some fresh new money in the next, 12 to 24 months? Maybe people will discover the podcast. I mean, thousands of people have already discovered us through the podcast. Will some of them decide to download some free stuff? Will they use the free stuff? Will they get in touch with us? Will they say, hey, I'd like to get a spot on the waiting list and see what happens? Will that get us some fresh new money? Probably yes, it will. Is this podcast designed to keep money? No, not really. No. I mean, if I don't do the podcast, will I have to give anyone a refund? No, I will not. So it's not really a keep money project. Is it a keep sanity project? Yeah, not really. Keep sanity projects tend to be operational. That's where you sit down to really work through your processes, improve your procedures, revisit, train your team on policies, things that
Case
drive you.
management systems. Yeah.
It's the kind of shit that drives you crazy when it blows up in your face and it drives you out of your fucking mind. And you're like, ah!
Yes.
You make it into a project. That's a Keep Sanity project, right? Is this podcast a want to do project? So this podcast is, it's either a get money project or a want to do project. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
But I have to pick something. It can't exist in two boxes. It's got to live in one box. And so I decided, my primary motivation for this podcast is it's something that I just wanted to do. Doesn't really matter that much if it makes money or doesn't make money for me. It's primarily, in my heart, it's primarily a want to do project.
And if you do it next year, it may be a get money project. You may do it for a different reason next year, but right now it is where it is.
Exactly. Right. But it just helps to clarify. And the beautiful thing is that when you start to color code these things on your calendar, right? You can look at a calendar and imagine if get money was black and keep money was, I'm going to say red, and keep sanity was, let's say, yellow. And want to do was, I've got a purple highlighter, so I'll say purple. See how it's color coded now?
Yes.
So imagine if you saw a calendar and you don't even see anything on the calendar, but you see nothing but black. Get money project, get money project, get money project, get money project, get money project. What can you predict, audience? If you're in the audience, if you see someone's calendar and it's just chock full of get money, get money, get money, get money projects, what can you reasonably predict about the future of that law firm? Can anyone in the audience make a guess, make a prediction about what's probably going to happen in a law firm if it's just chock full of get money project, get money project, get money project, get money project? No one's guessing. No one's predicting.
Maybe they're taking a minute to type.
All right. Well, I'll just give the answer. The law firm will, in the beginning, have a giant lift on revenue, and then things will probably come crashing down spectacularly. And for the time that law firm is doing that giant lift, you can bet, and you'll win the bet, that the owner of that law firm will be saying, "Kiss my ass," the whole way up. Look at me, I'm hot shit. Get money project, get money project, get money project,
get money, get money, get money.
But they're not doing anything to keep the money, which is usually involves actually producing and delivering the work product.
That's right.
And they're not doing anything to keep their sanity, which is training their staff, upgrading their staff, making their systems work better.
Right.
And they're not doing anything they want to do. They're just get money, get money, get money, get money, get money. And you can predict that they're going to be giving a lot of refunds to a lot of pissed off clients. They're going to have lots of expensive staff turnover. And they're probably going to wind up getting divorced.
And they're certainly going to be unhappy and burnt out. Yeah.
Okay. Now,
chaos.
Let's say you see someone's calendar and it's all red or pink. It's all this color. It's all
keeping money.
Keep money, keep money, keep money, keep money, keep money, keep money, keep money. It's, well, you're going to see a big jump in cash flow in the beginning as you chew through those trust account reserves. Yeah. You have a whole bunch of happy clients. And then you're going to have like a giant gap and you're going to have no business. In 3 months or 6 months, you're going to wake up and you're like, I've got no business. And then what they're going to do is they're going to take the first fucking horrible client with a shitty case that walks through the door with cash. Fast forward, and you're miserable. You got accounts receivables, and you got a bar grievance.
You just decide. I mean, you just described the cycle, which is market, work, that creates the roller
It's feast or
coaster
famine.
that makes them so sick. Yeah.
It's feast or famine. Okay, so let's suppose you see a
Sanity was
calendar, and it's full of
yellow. Sanity.
keep sanity. It's full of yellow. It's full of keep sanity. It's all these really great projects. Let's document more policies. Let's create more procedures. Let's do more staff training. Let's get new technology.
My case management system talks to my CRM, which spits out reports, which emails everybody automatically.
These are fucking people who live their lives hiding in a fucking Excel spreadsheet, right?
Yes, they do. Mm-hmm. But it's gorgeous. It's automated.
Totally, and everything is organized, and nothing ever breaks, and nothing ever goes. I never do any marketing. I don't actually do any real production. I just keep fiddling around with shit.
Yeah.
And I think it's pretty obvious what happens in a law firm like that. And I would like the record to reflect that I resisted the temptation to spit out a bunch of names of people who you know exactly the former members I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. No. Can't keep sanity your way to $1 million.
Sorry?
You can't keep sanity your way to $1 million. You can't keep sanity your way anywhere. You just.
And then let's suppose you see a calendar that's nothing but want to do. Obviously, everything else will suffer, right?
Yeah.
Now, conversely, if you see a calendar with no want to do, your
all work and no play
firm is going to fall apart when your marriage does. Or your relationship with your kids, or your health, right? Or you just burn out. It's a balance. You've got to balance, right? Anyway, strategic calendaring. We taught strategic calendaring. I think we just taught them more.
Arjan won't get this reference, but you have to have balance in the force.
Yes. Yes, Padawan.
Yes, you have to have balance in the force. You have to have that. That's the way I teach the strategic calendaring workshop. It's all about bringing balance to the force.
It's true. It's true. Look, I mean, we're coming up on the hour. I think, I feel great. I don't know if the audience is necessarily going to understand this, but we just taught you more practical, real world, multi-million-dollar law firm using, million-dollar law firm building. You don't need any money. You need paper, you need pencils, colored erasable pencils. Get erasable colored pencils and big pink erasers. You need calendars, paper calendars, erasable colored pencils, and big erasers. And you don't need money, you don't need technology. You just can't use any excuses. And you can you can use this to strategize and build tactical plans up to millions of dollars of revenue. And I practice what I preach.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And I practice what I teach too.
Yes.
I keep my own calendar. My husband keeps one. We have a family one. And it's not the calendar like the Outlook calendar you guys are thinking of that's really your docket. It's a strategic calendar.
Right. Paper on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we got 1 minute left. Any last questions? Otherwise, any last comments? Otherwise, we're going to end this thing on time.
Because the COO, Nicole, was here on time.
All right. So we'll wrap up with the jingle. Have you heard the jingle?
I have not.
Oh, my God. So here's what we do. We play a little jingle. We play, so the 12 Nights of Christmas song on the first night of Christmas. All right. So we have a little jingle. Carly, who is on our team, wrote it and performs it. And so first we're going to play tomorrow night's verse. And then since tonight is what is tonight? The 5th night?
6th.
Since tonight's the 6th night, we're going to play all 6 nights.
Lovely.
Thank you so much for being here, Nicole. And I will be back with everyone tomorrow. Please, if you like the show, follow us, subscribe to it. I don't know what you're supposed to do. If you like the show, what I really would like is if you would get on lawyer discussion groups and tell people about the show, share a link to the show, and you could say such things as, it doesn't suck. I actually learned something. It's worthwhile.
It's worth watching.
It's worth watching. If you're serious about building a more successful law firm next year, here's a free resource that could help you. Can't hurt to check it out. I actually learned something practical. Yes.
Yeah.
We'll see if anyone does that. That's why this is a want to do.
I'm sure they will.
Huh?
I'm sure they will. You just gave them more valuable free content in 45 minutes than most people get
Ever.
from the stuff they pay to download. Like, that's amazing.
Thank you. You too. It was a team effort.
We did it. That's right.
We did it. All right.
We did this.
So let's play the jingle and wrap this thing up. First, let's do.
On the 7th day of Christmas, my friends at How to Manage a Small Law Firm taught me I should only make a sacrifice for my business if it somehow improves my life.
Play that again. Play that again.
I love that so much.
Wait till you hear the whole thing. Play that again.
On the 7th day of Christmas, my friends at How to Manage a Small Law Firm taught me I should only make a sacrifice for my business if it somehow improves my life.
The more you listen, the more you love it, right?
The better it gets.
Should we one more time or do the whole thing?
I want to hear the whole thing.
All right, let's hear the whole thing. We're only playing the 7 nights. Tomorrow we'll play the 8th.
Okay. Now.
And I'll.
On the 6th day of Christmas, my friends at How to Manage a Small Law Firm taught me how to use my calendar strategically so I have a life outside of work and make my law firm a lot more profitable too. Leave my bullshit at the door. How to set better goals, the difference between strategy and tactics, how to defend my standards, and a practical working definition of whether my law firm is successful or not.